east side.
The one lying down on the right is...
Okay, hello everybody. I think we got sound
The
now.
legs aren't right.
They're all silly.
He's got little, like, spaghetti legs.
It means that they don't rely on their legs, they rely on the strength
Okay.
of the Lord.
Well, I think we
And
got
then
sound.
When you enter into the Lord's kingdom, you are amassed by much pingui, so you get
Hello?
pingui of his
Some
love.
fatty richness.
And some
Do you
fatty
have sound over there?
Pinguitudine.
Oh,
And that you have that one sheep who's just looking.
yep, we do.
He's
We have
jealous.
sound. Hello everybody.
He's
Sorry we're
very-
late.
He's green.
And then Jesus, so then the sheep on top of Jesus' shoulders is trying to make eye contact with Jesus, and Jesus is having none of it. Do you see that?
I do see it.
Jesus is almost rolling his eyes. Hello, everyone. We are looking at the Good Shepherd icon, and it's a beautiful icon, but I've never noticed how funny the little sheep are. We got one with little spaghetti legs. We got
right.
one who needs to go on a diet.
It's a reminder that we're all funny.
Welcome everyone to Church Chat. Sorry that we're a little late here and little sound problems, video problems, but we got the good camera going, we got the good microphone going, so things are somewhat happy here.
Somewhat.
So we got the whole cast with us today for Church
Sure.
Chat. So welcome. So sorry that we were not here yesterday. Hopefully you got the message that we were gone. I had mass down at Camp Tekakwitha yesterday
True. You did.
at 10 o'clock, and I was reaffirmed. It might be a little bit hot there. I was reaffirmed yesterday. So Camp Tekakwitha, they're doing great work down there, and they're really maintaining the social distancing, and people are wearing masks when appropriate, when they're outside and they're far apart, like they're doing their horses or whatever. I don't think that they're wearing masks, but they're really being careful. And they are not staying overnight, right? So it's a day camp, except for, no, I take that back. This time they stayed overnight, but they all stayed in private tents.
Right.
There's like a little tent city going on. But anyway, I was reaffirmed yesterday with that it was a good decision for us not to attempt to do outside masses. We were getting some sort of call for that. Some people were calling for that
Right.
during the quarantine time, and why can't we do outside masses and whatever? And
Those always sound like a great idea.
they sound like a great idea.
But then you do them, and they're chaos.
Kind of like outside weddings. People, why can't we get married on the beach? Well, have you ever been to the beach? There's
Do you,
sand.
do you want sand all over that?
I don't like sand.
You're
It's everywhere.
You're in good company.
Of course. that's
Um,
Yeah, exactly.
so anyway,
But
so
not like this place.
although it was beautiful to celebrate with all the young people, it was a little bit chaotic and everything with trying to make sure that, that keeping the missile from flipping pages all over the place.
Right, you
and-
got to worry about the host. I know I was using a metal paten when I was there.
Mhm.
I was using a paten as
Yep.
a pall.
Right.
Oh.
Yep.
See, I just have an image of a bird of prey coming down and swooping and snatching the Eucharist during the elevation.
It's not good.
Yeah.
When did you get that image? Is that a nightmare?
No.
It's a terrible image.
Do you pray with that image? Or what is it?
Well, they also had the tiniest little hosts down there. And so
Yeah, they were tiny.
It's like, I was coming to Deacon Dave, we got to get this changed because then they have no weight. So then I'm trying to
Oh,
distribute
yeah,
communion
yeah,
and trying not to make contact with people. And
Yeah.
they didn't fly away, but I was really nervous about it because there was.
I didn't have any trouble with that when I was there, but I did. I was there on a really windy day and a non-windy day, so the non-windy day was much less stressful.
Sure, right.
Yeah.
So it was. So yesterday it was really stormy here. The storm I don't think ever arrived there at Camp Tekakwitha.
Right.
So
Did you guys hear that crack of thunder at like 3:30 in the morning?
I don't
on
know how
Wednesday
you could have
morning?
missed it.
It was incredible.
Yeah.
I wish I had been more fully awake so I could have appreciated it more. But I was lying there in bed, the storm had woken me up, and there I was, just, thinking about my life, liberty, the pursuit of happiness, all those sorts of things that one thinks about at 3:30 in the morning.
Right.
And then, out of nowhere came, well, not out of nowhere, there were many other thunderclaps, but this,
Out of the sky.
out of the sky came forth this loud crack. It was the loudest thunder I've ever heard in my life.
I think I've heard louder.
Really?
Yeah.
When did you hear louder?
There was actually one time at Camp Tekakwitha,
Mm.
coincidentally, and it was super loud and it went on for like 10 seconds. It was truly remarkable.
You know
woke
what?
everybody up.
You were never a counselor there.
I
or
was,
you
yeah,
were
for 2 summers.
2 summers. Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So I just want to point out something that John did very well in that conversation. He used the word coincidentally instead of ironically. So
Oh.
a lot of people confuse coincidence with irony.
Hmm.
Pardon me, ironicism, irony.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. So it's coincidence. It's a coincidence that he brought up the story, but it's not ironic.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Hmm. Ironic.
Deals in opposites.
Hmm.
I don't know how. I can't think of like a concrete example of.
Well, I mean,
Yeah,
Alanis
like
Morissette
about-
sang about a bunch of things that are ironic,
No,
but
she
there
didn't.
was some criticism that those things actually aren't
Yeah,
ironic. But I
but-
don't.
Isn't it coincidental? However, it doesn't go as well.
No. But it's like rain on your wedding day. Isn't that ironic? Or is it not ironic?
This is not ironic. That's just sad.
There might be some irony there. I would think so. That one would expect one thing, but he receives another.
Okay.
Yeah. You would
I
expect it to
accept
be a lovely day, but you would
Uh-huh.
say, yeah, that could be ironic. Hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's a free ride that you've already paid.
Right. But you know what is not permitted whatsoever? Not
Is-
permitted?
What's not
Whatsoever. Ironical.
ironical?
Yeah.
I think
So
it's pretty
ironical.
ironical.
My mother uses that word.
Mm.
Hmm. And I
Ironical.
always criticize her for it.
Mm.
In the way her favorite son only could. So,
I'll have to keep that in my
Very
back pocket to
criticizable.
bring that.
What's that?
out
You're
some-
very criticizable.
Very good. Well, how are you doing in how's everyone doing out there in COVID land? Big news from Kansas yesterday about the whole COVID,
Yeah.
when we're opening school. We got kindergarten roundup going on down there, so that's exciting. And the teachers and our principal, they are awesome, and they've been working a lot and trying to come up with a good plan for the coming year. And there was some, if not freaking out, hullabaloo or hubbub going on yesterday about
an intense
news.
discussion.
yes. Which I'm going to close the door, by the way.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
So now the school is not. No schools in Kansas are permitted to begin until at least September 9th.
September, yeah.
And so we'll have to decide how to proceed as a school. I know that Anne is working really hard on determining those plans. But I believe the reason why they are choosing to do it that way is that would be 2 months after the mask order came in. So it's almost 2 months to the day after
Oh.
the mask order came in.
Okay.
And so the idea is if we can wear the masks for 2 months, then at that point the infection rate will be low enough that it will be safe to open up the schools.
Oh, okay.
That is the thought process, I believe.
Okay, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So let's wear masks so people can go to school.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
Please. Yeah. Okay. Good. I hadn't heard why that thought process was. So very good. We so what we're trying to do kind of here is talking about some joys that we have experienced over the past week. Talking a little bit about news. Now we're going to do a new news kind of segment.
Mm-hmm.
We need to figure out when we're going to film that.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Maybe we could. Kind of a press conference model of making sure that we want to increase our communication. And I think that while Fireside Chat kind of did that for a while, but you kind of had to go through like hours to find the one
Hours of incredible content.
That's right.
They were like golden gems in a diamond field.
Right, so you had to go look for those golden gems of the news of the parish to find.
Mm-hmm.
So we would talk about things that are going on, but we want to make a more direct, shorter program. Here's what's going on. Here's the news. Here's the why. Because I try to do some of those at Mass,
Right.
with the announcements and everything. But the announcements at Mass, it says in the missal, announcements, something like if necessary, or what do you remember what the verbiage is? Or
Right, if necessary, or as I don't know what the verbiage
Yeah.
is. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But they are to be made here and to be made briefly. So I always feel like a little bit of pressure to get these announcements done. I wonder what are you smiling on?
No,
about
because
over here?
golden gems in a diamond field makes no sense. First of all, you You should have like flakes of gold when instead they're golden gems in diamonds, and diamonds don't grow in fields. It's delightfully hilarious.
It's ironical.
It's not ironic. Absolutely.
Yes. Well, come on. Want to make come make a guest appearance here. Here, look, Susan. She's here. Our great administrative assistant, secretary person. Come around here.
It's me.
She is here. She is masked up and
Good
everything.
morning.
So we are very happy to have Susan back
It is
here.
delayed, so you're aware.
So you are. See, there you are.
Here I are.
But now your head is
There I
chopped
are.
off. Yeah. So.
Hello.
But you're on this camera here.
Oh, very good.
Yes.
Good morning. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, you're okay.
Anything you want to say live to the world?
No.
Okay. Did you have a question for us?
Everyone stay safe and just continue to have faith, I
Great.
guess. What are you talking about this morning?
We were just talking about kind of the news and stuff and what's going on in the parish. So,
Yeah.
and
Okay.
the new program. So,
Well, yay.
did you have a question for?
Yeah, I do, but I'll interrupt you later.
Okay, great.
The world doesn't need to hear that. So.
All right, very good.
All right.
We do have a staff meeting here at 11, so
We do.
I see that you're carrying around the staff meeting agenda.
I just
so.
wanted to be sure you were aware and good with being our person.
Oh, am I the person?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why I wanted to touch
Okay,
base.
great. I'll be the person.
And I'm gonna go for about 15 and be back.
Okay,
your thing.
very good. People say hi to you, by the way. So.
I
Bye.
miss them all.
She misses you all, she says. Anyway, so yes, the diamonds.
Golden gems in a diamond field. I'm gonna use that from now on. That's
I'm trying to continue the show. Meanwhile, Father Ashmore's over here just
This is-
snickering
yeah.
about
this
his.
is my shtick. I derail things.
Father Nicholas Derail Ashmore. So. So anyway, yes, we make announcements at Mass,
Right.
but I always feel the pressure to get them done really quick because people are standing and it's like, let's get out of here.
And let's be honest, you only listen to like the first and maybe the last
5 seconds.
5 seconds
For
of the
me.
announcements.
Right.
I mean, I know that I'm not paying attention when I'm giving the announcements, let alone the person.
Well, I like Mary Mueller's response to that. I don't know if we should say that publicly, if they keep that hidden, but
Maybe. Yeah.
that was good. Of
The substance is a lot of people want announcements to be said at Mass, but the question is, do we often remember those announcements
Right,
later? So,
right, and we don't.
mhm.
So anyway, we want to do like kind of an announcement show, a news press conference kind of thing where we can get everything out that needs to be said.
Who's going to be the press?
Well,
Mhm.
anyone, you can be the press. Father Ashmore can be the press. I can come out and yell at fake news or whatever. You know, I can do that.
Okay.
What are you doing here? Get out of here.
I'll be asking the tough questions.
But I mean, kind of the kind of model is that stand like at a podium here. Where do the podiums go? Oh, there's the podium. Just kind of stand at a podium and have maybe a piece of paper in front of me, but also it's helpful if I have another interaction person say, hey, don't forget to talk about that. So, I mean, it's a little bit silly, but hopefully it'll be good to get the news out there.
Interesting. All right. So we're going to be doing that Friday show, and not Friday show, the Friday news
Right.
Media event, and what else is going?
And how do we get into that? What were we?
You were talking about news.
I was, but I don't remember.
I got distracted by a comment.
Announcements. Missile.
We were
Reverse.
talking about the joys that we were experiencing and what's kind of happening and what's going on. But most of the what's happening, we're going to put into a different show. That was
True.
the point. So
Mhm.
that's how we got there.
So we're only going to talk about things that aren't happening.
That's right. So what are your joys? What's kind of been a joy over the past week? That's what we want to be kind of sharing some things either personally or prayerfully or ministerially or anything that's been a joy for you. That's kind of one of the things that we want to do. But before I get too far afield, let me do my thing, my shtick, to go over here to the old camera and say, hello there, Rachel. Hello there, Rosalie. And hello there, Laura. I know that you were planning on watching the show yesterday, so I'm sorry that I wasn't there for you yesterday, but I'm here today, so I hope that you're having a super happy day, and look forward to seeing you soon. And also, hello to the Dryling girls. I hope that you are all doing well as well. So, and it was good to see you the other day. So, and now we will go back to the show. So, do you have any any joys or anything to share
Mm-hmm. Well,
besides the sheep over
the
here?
sheep have brought me great joy.
I just keep seeing the one standing up. He looks so angry.
Yeah, he is not happy at all. And I personally love how the sheep on Jesus' shoulders is trying to make eye contact with him, but he's having none of it. Do you see that?
There we go. So that's what has taken the attention here of Father Ashmore and John today, is this image that they're talking about, the spaghetti leg. They all got kind of spaghetti legs,
Mm-hmm.
but the one that's standing, it doesn't look like it should be able to stand, does it?
No, it's very disconcerting. Mm-hmm. Like the hoofs aren't right. Little hooves.
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 Behooves you.
So let's think about some joys. Actually, I had a great joy last night. As I've talked about a couple of times, I am now leading youth ministry in the parish, and so we've been trying to get some socially distanced events going. Last night we had our second summer service night, which is when 8th through 12th graders come to the parish fully masked, trying to keeping relative social distance, but of course always having the mask on, and do some service projects around the parish that we have been needing to get done, but haven't been able to do so. We had 15 students last night come,
It's awesome.
and we painted the back swing set. And so it's now a deeper color of blue, whereas previously it was a lighter color of blue.
Ooh, okay.
But it was all getting flaky and everything like that. So we took and we sanded things off, and then we put the new paint on. And I thought it went really well. The students seemed to enjoy themselves, and I'm making some connections for what we'll be doing in the future too.
Awesome.
So you know how people have like paint clothes, like paint shirts, and
Mm-hmm.
are people gonna start to have paint masks as well?
Maybe.
Is that the next?
Yeah,
thing?
maybe so.
Have you ever seen a bee suit? That could be like a paint mask.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
A what suit?
Bee suit.
Like a beekeeper suit.
Oh yeah.
Not a bee like. Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. So Father Ashmore's doing awesome work with our youth ministry. So he was doing.
RCIA.
Well, when you first came on, you were doing middle school youth
Yes.
ministry in RCA. So when he first came, I think it's good. I mean, I haven't really worked with too many associates yet, and trying to figure out what can be kind of their realm.
Right.
What will they specialize in? What will they do, rather than just like follow along the pastor everywhere he goes? That it's good to have kind of some stuff that the associate, at least in my mind, is kind of this is your thing. This is what you're in charge of. What are your skills? What are your gifts? So when he first came, I said we have a need for RCIA and baptismal prep and for youth ministry. Those were some real needs that I saw. Then I was asking if he would take those over, and he did. And now he's dumped off 2 of those.
Well, yeah. I'm dumping off.
Dumping off.
Yeah. And then not dumped, and then dumped off officially one. Yes.
So that, but now you're taking on all the youth ministry from middle
Right.
school to
Right.
High
It
school.
didn't make a lot of sense for me to focus on RCIA and middle school
Right.
youth. Although I did it and I was able to pull it off okay last year, I thought as I was coming into this year that I could be more successful focusing on all ages of youth ministry and
Mhm.
let somebody who's focusing on adult ministry take on RCIA.
Right.
So we did a little bit of a switcheroo, and Mary Mueller is now in charge of RCIA and all of adult ministry. And I have the youth ministry aspect.
Yep.
So that allows me to focus all my energies on that without having the difficulty of trying to keep in mind, okay, I mean, middle schoolers are very different than adults trying to enter the faith.
Yes.
If you can imagine. And so
Yes.
trying to keep the distinct needs between them and sufficient work for both of them was difficult last year. So.
Right.
Mhm.
And it's part of part of church ministry is that people wear a bunch of different hats, right? So staff members generally do this, and they do this, and they do this, and so I think there aren't a whole lot of like real specialists in church ministry. There's a lot of kind of jack of all trades or jack of many trades anyway. So Mary Mueller, she's awesome, and she's a jack of many trades, and so she's shifting from high school ministry to more adult. Yeah, she's fully focused on the adult ministry now, which she was already doing, but yeah, just our jobs evolve. So yeah,
Exactly.
but I'm also excited because I don't know if did I talk about Deacon Tom last time?
You have not.
Okay, I'm excited
I
about
don't think, maybe.
Deacon Tom Greer. He's our new deacon now. So Deacon Steve has retired officially, although we see him around sometimes, which was always part of the plan. But Deacon Tom is our official deacon now. And I was meeting with him, talking too about what are your skills, what are your interests, and what do you want to do. And as we discerned and talked through, I'm excited about what he's going to be taking on. So one of the things is he's going to be taking on the baptismal prep classes and doing those. And then I'm excited too, he's going to be kind of the first contact minister person. So when someone comes and registers in the parish, that information will get to Deacon Tom, and then Deacon Tom will give them a call, a follow-up, check in how they're doing. We already have like a welcome brunch, but I'm not sure how well we do. We welcome them, we have a brunch for them, and then they can fall through the cracks. And so Deacon Tom's ministry will be trying to make sure that our new registers are getting finding a space here. So that's going to be one of his ministries. So I'm very excited about that. He mentioned that, so you might be saying, when's he going to preach or whatever. He expressed he does not have that much of a need to preach as a deacon. And so he'll preach sometimes, but he doesn't really have a desire or a need to do that much. So if you're saying we never get to hear him preach, well, you might not hear him very often actually, but that's not necessarily part of what the deacon does
That's not
anyway.
part of his proper role.
Right. So they can preach, but they don't. They have other roles that are really more proper to them.
Right,
so.
right. So theologically and liturgically, the deacon is like the angel who opens up the tomb for Jesus. So the people come and they have the word proclaimed to them, like the angel. So that's why the deacon actually proclaims the gospel. And the exalted. And the exalted.
Okay.
He's the divine angel proclaiming the good news. And then the priest opens up and cracks open the word.
Ah.
And so that's why deacon's rightful place is the gospel. They proclaim the word, and then the priest opens up the word. In the same way as he breaks the bread at the altar.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
It does make sense. There's your nuggets.
This is actually really fascinating. So in some churches in Rome, the ambo, I believe, the pulpit, more properly what they are, actually looks like a tomb. Because it's the angel coming forth from the tomb to proclaim the good news of Jesus Christ. Isn't that fascinating?
Yes, it is fascinating.
And so that's why the deacon has that proper role. He's proclaiming the word, like the angel.
Very good.
So,
How are you doing over there? Oh, go ahead.
Deacon Steve, you are my angel. No, I'm just joking.
In the arms of the angel.
I'm doing good. No, I'm doing good. It's been a great week. Just over a week ago, I spent some time in Topeka with some seminarian friends. We watched the movie Twister, which is a terrible movie, but it's one of my favorite terrible movies. Along
I
with,
haven't seen that since I was 12 years old, probably.
I think same. I think it had been that long for me as well.
I liked it when I
close
was
to 10
12,
years.
but that's not a judge for anything.
It's a fascinating movie.
Is it really?
Tell me more.
Yes.
There's 6 tornadoes throughout the movie, and they're all like F5s, and they're all whatever. So it's great.
What about the point when they have the machine that is supposed to, like, all the little robots in it, not robots, but little sensors
Transmitters.
are, like, go up into it?
It's exciting.
It is very
It's
exciting.
science, and it's great. They've accomplished their mission, and it's not a terrible movie, honestly. But yeah, so we watched that. It was just good times.
What was the name of the thing? Wasn't it like Dorothy?
Dorothy.
That's
yes.
right. Okay.
Yes, which is
Cute.
yes. Last night I spent some time with my parents as well. My dad made steak, so that was great.
Nice.
Excited about that.
Yeah, but just a reminder, John, John's from right around here, from Shawnee.
I'm from Shawnee.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. He's a native Shawneean, but not a
Mhm.
native Good Shepherdian.
Right. We live 2.5 minutes from Sacred Heart. So.
Mm.
Very good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I continue to enjoy doing these Eucharistic ministry visits on Sunday. It takes a while, but I do enjoy it. We also, before I forget, also, it was fun doing the Lala kickoff on Monday. That was a good joy.
It's true.
And tonight we have the Lollapalooza auction tonight, 7 o'clock. So tune in tonight. Excited for that. We will be kind of co-hosts, and
Mm-hmm.
you'll be preparing some beverages or
Yes.
something.
Mhm.
So
It will be very exciting.
Yeah.
I will be doing we will be having a cocktail night as we're doing the live auction. How is that going to work?
I'm going to find out tonight.
Okay, because I've been trying to figure, are we the auctioneers?
There's a script.
Okay, so I've looked at the script, but it's not clear to me.
I need to chat with Mary Catherine.
Okay,
maybe.
sounds good.
That's a long time from now.
Yeah, mm-hmm. This is true. So several meetings in between then. But,
People ever ask me about something like it's happening on Monday, I'm like, that's a long time from now. I don't know. So kind of, I do try to plan at least somewhat ahead, but there's so much stuff that's coming at me. I find day
Yeah.
by day, it's hard to plan ahead. We did have a nice. This is another joy. Last week we had a nice planning meeting. It was a long meeting also, but it was a joy to kind of come up with what's our plan for the future.
Mm-hmm.
That's where this whole, I think, press conference idea came out of as well. Is
true.
we have been flying by the seat of our pants a bit as we're doing this pandemic, because, but we're trying to plan a little bit more ahead, trying to be more concrete. Okay, what are we going to do now, and how are we going to do things differently and plan for the future?
Exactly. We've learned a lot over the last 6 months.
We sure have.
How many months has this been? Now that I think about it.
I don't know,
April,
8,
May,
9.
June, July. We're at about 5 months. We've learned a lot in 5 months.
We have.
And we want to take a few moments, 3 hours. We want to take a few hours to sit down and think, okay, now that we have experienced this and we have some idea of what's coming, we don't have a full idea of what's coming, but we have some idea of what's coming, how can we basically steer the programs at Good Shepherd in order to make it so that we are thriving during the next 6 months?
Uh-huh.
I think we had a really great conversation.
Yeah, it was really good. Very good. Father Ashmore really got that pretty organized and started it off, and it was good, real good. So, so that was meetings aren't necessarily normally specified as joys,
No.
but it was good. It was productive meetings are nice. So,
Yeah.
and it was a productive meeting. So,
Absolutely. And it was good to have a lot of good conversations that they helped to just check up on people too as we're going through it. Like, okay, what are you actually doing through this? So that I know in the youth ministry program that the religious education program is doing this, and I can try to tie them in together throughout this year. So those are important conversations to have.
yeah. And we also had a nice productive meeting yesterday about the website. So that's coming soon, August 1st.
Yes,
is our
that is
tentative.
Yes, this is actually
launch
we are
date.
announcing that right at this moment because I've not announced it to anybody else yet. Yeah.
You heard it. Here's one of those golden gems in the middle of a diamond field.
Exactly. We have a new website. It is currently under construction, but we're in the last phases of construction right now. Our launch date for said website is planned to be August 1st. So we'll be making a large announcement that weekend. We might even, I don't know, put it up on the board or something to show it off.
And the
Yeah,
that's
exactly,
good.
before, after Mass or something of that
Yeah.
sort. I'm very proud of the website. Raphael has done a lot of great work on this.
So speaking about wearing many hats, Raffaele is our music director, but he also has a computer science background, and so I've
Doesn't
got
he
time.
have a doctorate
Yeah,
in
yeah,
computer science?
he does. I wasn't going to necessarily out him on that, but
Oh, sorry. Sorry,
no,
Raphael.
but I think it's fine. But I know I do try to, and this is something I said to him right off the bat. I said, I know we did not hire you to do computers, because I think people can get locked into that.
very easily.
Yeah, that you have that talent. Oh, well, let's grab onto that for whatever it is. You know, if you have an engineering background or whatever. You know, I have a theater background, which I enjoy doing some of that, but I left theater for a reason, to become a priest, right? And so I kind of presume Raffaele left computer science to do music because that's what he wants to do. So, but he was very, and I said, you know, I know it's not what you signed up for, but we have this need, and it's strange pandemic times, and we all have had more different time. Most of us have had more time and just had to figure out how to use our time. And so that was something I said, in this rare thing that we've got going on, when you can't have choir practice the same way that you had it before, and you're just doing different things and you work. Can we ask you to do some of this stuff? And he was very agreeable to that, and he's been great. So now, really, our staff has been working. I mean, it doesn't necessarily always look like that, I suppose, but really, our staff has been doing all kinds of stuff behind the scenes, has not been necessarily seen.
That's how it is often in parishes.
Yeah.
I know there's a joke about, oh, hey, Father, you only work on Sunday, don't you? But we often do a lot of different things throughout the week, and the same is true for our staff members. That we may not have the standard 8 to 5 schedule, but we're producing.
Right. So Terry says we're the auctioneers.
We are the
So,
auctioneers. Okay,
yeah.
I'll get my best. We'll work on that. Obviously, you do not want to watch an hour of that, so we'll figure out the best technique
I
for
don't
you.
have a cowboy hat.
Oh.
I
I
have
do
my
at home.
Oh yes, you always do. Do you have any of those ties that they have, like the
I
cowboy
have
ties?
0 ties.
Yeah, well, I know, but do we have any of those
Bolo tie.
bolo tie? You know.
I do. I'm no bolo. I have no bolo.
No bolo.
We had
Bow
a.
tie.
We had, now this might be interesting as a historical fact here for you. Back in our day, we didn't used to, in the seminary, we didn't used to wear clerics at Mundelein. We were one of the last seminaries to wear clerics. The seminarians wearing clerics. So you really didn't wear clerics until you were a deacon, and you could, and then most people didn't. But there was a big ceremony in the 4th year where the fourth year guys, they had a bonfire and they burned ties.
Ah, that's funny.
Yeah, because you would generally be wearing a suit and tie for all the formal events, and not wearing clerics. Nowadays, I think people wear clerics or cassocks or whatever.
Yeah, generally during your first 4 years or so, you wear a suit and tie. Yeah, in college.
Yeah,
and then in the last 4 years, you wear clerics.
right. But we didn't.
Somewhere around
Yeah,
there.
we didn't have that at all. And yeah, people were doing that. Other seminaries were doing that. Kenrick, I think, was doing that, and we were kind of the oddball out there. But anyway, we had a ceremony where we burned our ties, and
I still own like 15 ties, and I
Do
need to
you?
do something with them. Yeah, I liked ties, and we wore a suit 3 or 4 times a week at Conception, so it gave you lots of opportunities.
okay,
Because anytime there was a solemnity or a high feast, you'd also have to wear a suit.
right, yep, that was maybe not. No, maybe we didn't do that, but for big events, yeah, we did. For especially for the installations of acolytes and whatever.
Oh yeah, certainly. It was probably maybe 2 or 3 times a week. It really depended on the week. We also had the extra Benedictine solemnities too. So like the Transitus of Saint Benedict was a great feast day for us, and some other Saint Benedictine feasts.
Yep. I think I mentioned this before, but I actually went to my diaconate ordination in a suit and a tie, and then when I was ordained, then
Oh really?
I put on my rabbi after that.
Oh,
So,
interesting. Okay.
yeah, that was my approach, because that was show that ontological change, and that was kind of my little thing. It's goofy as all get out, but I thought it was cute.
Makes sense.
But yeah, we'll show up in a suit and a tie, and then at the reception.
I just don't like
clerics.
changing that much. There's people, and I don't understand it. So sometimes people are like, "Oh, Father, you're wearing clerics on like a Tuesday evening," and I'll be like, I got off of work, and but I came back from the parish, and I didn't feel like changing. Why would I get out of what I was already? That's so much more work. Like, what is this?
Right.
It's not laziness, but it's just efficiency.
Right.
See, I'm the opposite. Put on shorts as soon as I can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I find this to be very comfortable, to be honest.
Yes. Well, and I've got my jeans on here because
I left my laundry in the wash. I forgot about it.
for a few days. But,
Like a day and a half, but
Well, but there was a line. You had your things out there, so it's like, oh,
Yeah. No, I just forgot about it. It happens.
So if you're looking, boy, these pants look strange. They are blackish. I mean, they're pretty much black, but I'm at the end of my clothes, so
Yeah.
I don't have any more
It happens, yeah.
slacks. They all need to go to the wash.
So those sheep.
See, this is why you say this is why you need a cassock, Father, so you can hide a multitude of sins.
That is true.
So,
Is that what the cassock is for?
yeah, that's right.
My cassock is falling apart though.
Is it?
Yeah, it's getting very thread-borne. I need to do something about that.
Yeah. But that was another thing. We didn't have cassocks back in the day.
Right.
So not sure. So Susan asks, but yeah, if you have any questions, that's what we're here for. I'm still not charging. Holy cow, what's going on?
Uh-oh. So John,
Yes.
where did you go before seminary?
I went to the University of Kansas.
That's what she's asking.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
And before that, I went to K-State for a year. But I graduated from KU with a Bachelor of Science in Geography with an emphasis in Geographic Information and Analysis and a minor in Economics. It's more impressive than it sounds more impressive than it is. So.
I understand.
It certainly sounds more impressive than dance. So he went to college, normal college,
College.
Mm-hmm.
and that's why he's going to be doing pre-theology
Mm-hmm.
this year.
Yeah, so I'll have 2 straight years of philosophy, almost all philosophy, a couple hours of Latin sprinkled in,
Mm-hmm.
but other than that, I'll be looking at philosophy for the next 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
So,
It's a lovely 2 years, really.
so John and I are in this. We come from the similar background as far as how we got into seminary.
We even lived in the same dorm at different times, of course.
Because you were Grace Pearson.
Yes.
Yes. As was who was the other person?
Timothy Skoke.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So Grace Pearson, that is holy ground.
I guess.
So we came from the same background, going to college first and then entering seminary. And Father Ashmore went directly from high school.
I ain't got
to
time
college.
for any of that.
That's right.
I just dive in like a bulldog.
Father Nicholas Bulldog Ashmore.
Mm-hmm.
You got all kinds of nicknames today.
I'm a man of many talents.
He is a golden gem in a field of diamonds.
What's also humorous about that is it's actually a little depressing. Isn't
I
it? Which one is
know.
more great? Which one's more valuable? A diamond or a golden gem?
I know, it's a great expression. I'm going to use this quite frequently. You have found the golden gem in the field of diamonds. It's like, did you just insult me? Everyone else is more valuable than you, but you are a golden.
I've got my own little
You are a
charm.
penny a dozen.
That's right, you're a penny a dozen. Very good.
Oh my!
So
That has to be the title of this one now. Just a field of diamonds.
yes, right. No, you're doing some kind of titling and or updating of our.
Absolutely, I can.
Very good. So I don't know if we've got anything else to cover here today. Have we covered all of our material?
I think we have. We've had great joy, great happiness. Is there anything that's coming up we need to say? Well, tune in tonight. We have Lollapalooza. Father Kent and I will be the live auctioneers.
Yep.
I don't know how that's going to work. All I can say
Hopefully it will.
is please make it work. That way we're asked to return next year. So
Let me see if I can pull up that in case you. I'm going to put the. You know what? I haven't checked the tube. Has anyone checked the tube at all?
nope.
You keep talking over there.
And as part of that, we will also be having a couple breaks in our auctioning tonight, and we will be making some drinks. So we'll be making a Manhattan, we'll be making an Old Fashioned, and we will be talking about the process of making limoncello. We won't actually make limoncello, but
Right.
we will talk about the process.
Unfortunately, we don't have 5 weeks of time on our hands tonight.
It's going to be a 5-week show tonight.
So get in, get ready, and buckle down.
Lori's over here on the tube, so very good.
Hi, Lori.
So
Hi, Lori.
there is that, and then here is the link for the Lollapalooza. Go check out the how it's going. But it's kind of a fun process. So.
And continue to keep in mind the fund a need. Too, we know that fund a needs are often things that are easy to give to because you want to build this building or
Right.
do this other project. But often some of the needs that are greatest are the least exciting.
Exactly.
And we understand that. But we have a really important need, which is trying to eliminate the debt of the school. That's fully how we're phrasing it?
I'm not sure if that's exactly how we're phrasing
Okay, we're
it.
trying to work on lowering the debt of.
Just making sure that we are, making sure that we can make all the ends meet and cover all of the wonderful things going on with the school. So I don't know
Exactly.
exactly
So
what the
it's not, you don't get your name on a building for this funded need, but it's incredibly important because you get your name on the souls of all our children that we're forming.
But here's the other thing that'll add on to this is I had a meeting. So Linda Nelson is our new. She is both our doing payroll, which Deacon Steve was doing, and doing the bookkeeping that
Mhm.
Rebecca was doing. I said meeting with Linda and Rebecca this morning, a brief meeting, but talking about the budget for next year, and things are looking much better than they have
Right,
looked
good.
since I've been here. And so I'm optimistic that we can have, especially if we have a good funding need this year,
Mhm.
we can have something that's a little bit more exciting next year. Still a need, it's still something, but it's more concrete and recognizable.
I'm personally thinking perhaps a statue of Father Kent and myself, their backs to each other. Yeah.
Or Noah, we have a fireside chat of us with cups in hand.
Yeah, that's exactly. We can have it right out front. That could be our funded need for next year.
Just us sitting out the bench. It would be like we'd be sitting on the bench out there. It'd be like a bronze
Exactly.
sculpture of
It
us.
would be great.
Those never turn out good though. The faces always look creepy and weird.
Oh, I don't
this
know. I
one
like
would-
those ones on the plaza where you're just sitting there.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm imagining.
I'm just imagining the scary ones.
Well, that seems to be your problem. You seem to like to imagine scary things.
right.
Catastrophize. What can I say?
Yeah, exactly.
That's not very ironical.
But if we do well in this funded need, it will put us on a good trajectory.
Absolutely. So this
we-
is.
No, so we ask you to consider that generously. We thank you for all that you've already done in the past for us, and not only for us, but for your parish. This is all of our place. This is all of our home.
That's right.
So thank you so much for supporting your home.
Yeah. Very good. Well said. And I just realized that I have this.
Church shut up the whole time.
Which I want.
Oh, you forgot
but
Father.
I don't have.
Sorry, you forgot
I'm
Don.
missing somebody here. So Is that-
Is it me?
Yep.
yeah, you don't exist. And seminarian John.
Seminary, Mr. John Donart.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. Hey, John, have you ever gone by Johannes?
I thought about it. So I visited a Latin class when I was doing my apostolic assignment in Denver.
Mhm.
They asked me what my name is in Latin, so I guess very briefly I went by Johannes.
All right, so this has been your church chat with Father Ashmore
Father Kent
and
and
Johannes.
Johannes. Do you know if there's any other way to donate to fund a need other than PayPal?
I don't know the actual donation ways, the means that we're using, but we can ask, and we can talk about that tonight.
Should be able to go through Faith Direct, I would think.
I would have presumed, but I don't know.
Yeah, I would think that you can do Faith Direct and make a special donation and designate it to Lala.
Fund the need.
I would think.
I would think so. Let us get back to tonight.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that at the Lollapalooza live auction.
Yeah, because doesn't actually the Lollapalooza doesn't actually end tonight. It actually ends tomorrow, Friday midnight, or yeah. So hopefully we can get more information about that. But theoretically, you can go directly through Faith directly.
Okay.
So
Thank you all very much.
Thank you. Thanks for tuning in, and have a great rest of the day. You all be golden gems in a field of diamonds today.
Signing off.